A new 5-part drama, stripped over 5 nights on Channel 5, all the fives.
All the
It stars Carolina Main, who you may remember from Unforgotten. She was one of the other police officers. She plays Kat Hogan. She lives in Dublin and comes back to her hometown, small hometown. I think she's been told her mother's dying and then her mother's dead when she gets there. It's basically the first episode, or the series, I'm guessing, is all about sort of deep-seated feelings about her relationship with her father, Jim, played by Adrian Dunbar. Suspicions that he might have had a hand in his mother's death. I mean, that her mother had like a terminal illness. It's revealed in the first episode that he's been having a long-term affair.
And also, she didn't die of her illness. She died
Didn't you
of
let
a
me
fall
finish?
by the... Sorry.
Let him do it.
So she didn't die of her illness. She died of a fall, as she said. Is that right?
Yep.
I don't know.
By the ponds, and there was blood on one of the frog statues. Just sort of a brief overview, which I was trying to do, is that there's sort of these deep-seated tensions. Something happened between Jim and Kat when she was younger. There's an insinuation that he's killed before the father of a ex-boyfriend or family friend,
I think.
whose father's allegedly killed himself, but there's the insinuation that Jim might have had something more to do with that.
The pub, the father, is that what I picked up?
I don't know.
Pub? I don't know, because he said something about, it hasn't changed much since my dad ran it or something.
It's sort of a family drama with sort of a murder mystery tagged on. She's got 2 siblings. The daughter is quite protective of the dad. The son is sort of a bit of a layabout. We find out that he's gay at the mum's wake as well. What are your thoughts on this, Gary?
I really liked this. I had to pinch myself to realise I was watching Channel 5 because this had the feel of a BBC One drama. I think everybody sort of is realistic. This is a family tension that you can quite believe, when one person has been sort of left out of the family dynamic, comes and tries to sort of fit back in again at a difficult time. Adrian Dunbar is fantastic, very menacing, very good at sort of playing that kind of that role. I mean, it's a million miles away from his line of duty performance, but still very believable. I really want to look forward to it, and I'm really interested in seeing where it goes. I'm really, really invested in that first episode. It flew by for me. I know it's a bit longer than an hour, but it didn't seem it when you were watching it. Yeah, great. I mean, first Channel 5 drama I can say I've liked.
Well, you're not alone. A lot of people have been saying it, and quite rightly so. I think Adrian Dunbar is perfectly cast because he has a dark side to him that he appears to only let himself show to Kat. There's a moment where he says, "We're not going to have any trouble, you and I, are we?"
Yeah, he takes her out into the middle of the woods, doesn't he?
There's a hint of some previous between them, isn't there?
The flashbacks and things like that.
Yeah. It's just really well done. It's written by Sophie Petzold. This is her first thing she's ever written on her own.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, she's written for ensemble shows, The Last Kingdom and Jekyll and Hyde that ITV did.
She's been in writers' rooms, as they
say.
But
this
I'm
is
surprised
this is
at
her
that because
on
of
her
how
own.
good it is. I'm surprised that this is the first thing she's written.
Well, you shouldn't be. But
No, I
maybe
know that
people
I am.
are just good writers.
I am.
But I, regardless of what channel it's on, I think it means more to us as reviewers that it's on 5. But really, it's a really solid drama. But I just really appreciated the linearness to it. The fact that it wasn't moving
Gary,
all over the place.
There we go.
You love your linear.
I love being linear.
Well, no, but I do because we've had so many dramas of late where we're going here, then we're going there, then we're here.
Yeah, the first episode of The Cry, I suppose, always stands out.
Every show we've reviewed of late has had dual timelines, it would seem.
They did the flashbacks in a sort of a good way, didn't they? Sort of
Yeah.
like a hazy sort of memories and you see the young version of Kat at the window and you see, bits of her mum and things like that. So you've got like what you would normally have as a full flashback, you has a sort of like memories.
That's how memories work, doesn't it? When we remember things.
I don't know. I go back in time and have the full conversation. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, no, I just thought it was very, very solid. I've been following its progress from when it aired in Ireland and just seeing that it was really well received.
So is it a
quite
co-production
rightly.
then?
It's a co-production between the 5 put a lot of money into it, so it is their show. I mean, I don't know how you feel. Again, we've had this discussion loads of times, and I know where Matt stands. But if you're Channel 5 and you've got a big prestige cool drama like this, why do you want to waste it over 5 nights in the middle of November? Why not launch it with a load of commercial, a load of
because
backing?
you know you can't hang with the big boys if you put it up against on a Monday night or a Sunday night. That you need to do it.
Maybe you're right. But I find that a little bit
But
irritating.
ITV have got the same thing on every night.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to watch I'm a Celebrity, then this might be right for you. And I think it's really well done. I think the performances elevate it to a whole new level as well. I really enjoyed it.
It's interesting, Luke, that you said about it being sort of two. This is sort of 2 episodes sort of conglomerated, amalgamated into one. Because the first half of this I found a real slog, and then I thought towards the end of it I enjoyed it a lot more.
Matt's got his negativity hat on today.
I just said I enjoyed it a lot more the second half. Let me. I don't know. I found it hard going, and I found it almost a little bit amateurish to start off with. I think the performances were strong from Carolina Main and Adrian Dunbar throughout, but I don't know. I found it a bit sort of hard to understand why she immediately went, "Oh, he's killed her." It kicked in straight away, and I was just a bit.
I suppose it's the scene around the pond is that kind of turning point where she notices the frog and then he cleans up the blood.
From the sort of the scene where he sort of drags her into the middle of nowhere and has that thing with her, I think from then onwards I was more invested in it, and I think it just sort of brightened up a little bit in that second half. When I say amateurish, I almost mean like some of the shots and things like that felt almost a bit cheap, a bit sort of obvious. The one thing that is strong is the writing. I wasn't saying that about the writing.
No, I that's why I'm so surprised that this is someone who's doing their first thing, because this is someone to look out for in the future, I think.
I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it, and I if I hadn't been forced to watch other things, I would have probably watched the second episode by now. So there you go. Yes, but yeah, I just
luckily for you, you've already seen the second episode.
Yeah, but I don't. Jesus. But yeah, so I mean,
do you want to come with me, Matt?
Yeah, I think so. We'll start a rival podcast.
Yeah.
Blood is on Channel 5 at the moment. What's the 5? Is it called Demand 5? My 5. My 5, I think it's called.
It was called Demand 5. I think it's called My
Demand
5.
My 5. Catch up on My 5.